We're taking you into the news right now with the Fox 45 news feed. It's 11 a.m. and there are major updates in the battle against crime across Maryland, where leaders at the city and state level have their sights set. Fox 45 goes one-on-one with Baltimore City Council President Nick Mosby discussing the testimony he gave in his ex-wife's federal trial, his explanation for lying to the public about a tax lien on the couple's home. And we are looking ahead to the Bmore Healthy Expo. We take you inside the venue for a sneak peek at the resources that will be available when you come out tomorrow. Fox 45 News Midday starts now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks so much for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Shannon Lilly. We are following major updates in the crime fight in Baltimore City and across the state. City leaders have their eyes on expanding the group violence reduction strategy despite criticism over the program's effectiveness. And in Annapolis, hours of intense debate over Democrats' new juvenile crime proposal. Olivia Dance joins us now with that heated discussion in Annapolis. Olivia?
Well, state Democrats' new juvenile crime plan is now up for debate right here in Annapolis, and lawmakers met for hours yesterday to discuss one of the bills, and we expect further discussions to be held in the coming days. Now, the legislation is aimed at curbing the soaring juvenile crime across the state, some arguing the bill would issue too harsh of consequences for our children, others arguing it doesn't go far enough, but those that are behind the bill are calling it a balanced and sensible solution. Recent reform laws block children under the age of 13 from being charged with certain crimes. But under this new legislation, no matter their age, children would once again face consequences for auto thefts, sexual assaults, firearm offenses, and animal abuse.
Last year, we were referred over 1,000 juvenile cases, primarily cases that are felonies that involve very serious offenses.
State's attorneys from across the state argue crime numbers from their offices show juvenile crime spiraling out of control in the last year, but still lawmakers debating back and forth.
Under this bill, and I think these crimes are very relevant, I think it's a great idea, but it wouldn't capture cases where youth is kind of escalating.
This bill is about placing the failings of adults on very young children and children accused of committing minor offenses.
It's still up in the air whether or not lawmakers will make any amendments to the bill based on the arguments that were made during yesterday's hearing. But of course, for any updates, you can head to our website, foxbaltimore.com. But for now, reporting in Annapolis, I'm Olivia Dance, Fox 45 News, Midday.
Thanks, Olivia. Well, one of the Democrats' priorities focuses on extending probation for young offenders. Supporters of the plan want to boost probation length, arguing the current system doesn't allow enough time for proper rehabilitation. They also want to give judges and state's attorneys more discretion over when a child should be kept on probation and when they should be released.
Because sometimes we have parents who call us and say, I don't know what to do, he's not listening, and our hands are tied because we don't have any response other than to set yet another hearing where the child is told by the magistrate or the judge, yet again, you have to follow the rules of probation, and the child has no response.
Public defenders pushed back, arguing the current system under the Juvenile Justice Reform Act allows children a fair chance to leave probation on good behavior. Probation has been a point of contention between lawmakers and Juvenile Services Secretary Vincent Schiraldi. He has argued against probation completely, saying he doesn't believe it makes someone less likely to commit another crime. Meanwhile, city leaders are doubling down on the controversial group violence reduction strategy. The city launched GVRS 2 years ago in the Western District. The program targets those at risk of committing crime or becoming victims of crime. The mayor and the program's director defended the program, claiming GVRS is responsible for reducing homicides in the Western District by 25% in its first 18 months. But by the end of last year, the Western District had become the deadliest district in the city, leading all other districts with 41 homicides. While the mayor insists GVRS is not to blame, some community leaders disagree.
We did redistricting, right? So halfway through the year, parts of the district were added in that weren't parts in the district the week before, and that crime came with that. But when you look at the historical context and the historical nature of crime in the Western District, and not just said by me, but as verified through critical academic partners, we know that this strategy works.
You're trying to put a responsibility on redistricting as to why we were to increase. Well, who is to blame? Who do we blame that you redistrict and our homicides went up?
Now, the city has since expanded GVRS to the Southwest and Central districts. Now the city is planning to move the program into the Eastern District this spring. Baltimore City Council President Nick Mosby is sitting down with a one-on-one interview with Fox 45 News, talking about his testimony during his ex-wife, former City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby's federal trial. During his testimony in that trial, federal prosecutors alleged Mosby claimed charitable donations that weren't real. They also claimed in 2014 he was $18,000 behind on mortgage payments and his car was repossessed. He also admitted to lying to the public about the tax lien on the couple's home. Fox 45 News' Mackenzie Frost presses him on.
It was my colleague who asked about the tax lien that was on your property. You said that it had been taken care of, but that was a lie.
Yeah.
Why did you lie to the public?
Well, at the time, I still didn't realize that there was a formal tax lien. It's a lot of complications with the way it was actually entered, but it was a personal matter, and I should have addressed it as a personal matter. So I regret that, and I think I've said that, and I'll constantly say that. So it's an opportunity for me to grow and learn from that.
Now, Fox 45 News was with Nick Mosby when he filed to run for re-election yesterday. The filing deadline for any candidate who wants to run for public office in Maryland is later tonight at 9 p.m. Download the Fox 45 News app for up-to-the-minute traffic conditions, breaking news, and weather anytime. You can just search WBFF in your app store. Well, the Bmore Healthy Expo is happening tomorrow, and we are showcasing some of the best displays you could see. Meteorologist Amy Aronson tried out a few this morning.
We are wrapping up our mini expo, getting us ready for the Bmore Healthy Expo tomorrow by talking about teeth. You can see where we are. We're on the Colgate Bright Smiles, Bright Futures truck right now. I'm here with Anika Ford's Grant, and you were telling us what you guys do on this little van when people come visit you.
We have so much fun when we are on this van, and yes, we do get little people that come on this van. So we provide dental education as well as oral health screenings for children 12 and under. We go through brushing, so we show them how to properly brush their teeth.
Stuff, very important.
And we also go through flossing, especially for those teeth that touch each other.
Oh yeah, can't have that. Right?
And we have so much fun. We have a little selfie.
I love that.
So we make it a very fun activity for them when they come on the van, make it very akin as if they're going to a dental office.
That's cool.
Kind of eliminate the fear and bring some fun positivity on it. Exactly. And this program has been around since 1991.
That's awesome.
We've served globally 1.7 billion children and their families. And this van lives in the Maryland area, but it travels around the DC, Virginia area, just making sure that we are able to provide the dental screenings and the oral health education to children and their families.
Okay, awesome. And people can find this van tomorrow at the Bmore Healthy Expo?
They can. Super excited. Can't wait to see everybody.
Okay, awesome. Well, we look forward to it. Look for the van. You won't be able to miss it tomorrow. If you want more information right now on everything happening, foxbaltimore.com/newslinks.
It's going to be a great time. Thanks, Amy. Lamar Jackson is making history even in the postseason. Still ahead this morning on Bmore Lifestyle, his new award and what he had to say to the person who didn't vote for him. Another step to crack down on robocalls. What is now illegal as we get into election season? And another close call on the runway. Just ahead, the damage as two planes collide.
Well, for your Friday, a mix of clouds and sun, and we'll see warmer temperatures as we head toward the afternoon. We're also tracking some showers moving in by Saturday, so that's at least some of the weekend that will be a little bit wet. But 61 today, 47 tonight, mid-60s on your Saturday. Back with your full forecast coming up.
11:11, and it is time now to take a look at your social stream here. There's yet another incident involving a plane to tell you about. The FAA says it's investigating after two planes collide on the tarmac at Boston Logan International Airport. The two JetBlue planes collided Thursday on the airport's de-icing pad. One plane sustained damage to its wing, the other to its tail. The good news, no one was hurt. Now, Casey here is tweeting that she was actually on this flight. She says, an eventful morning for us passengers, but really grateful for the in-flight JetBlue crew who was patiently answering passengers' questions and constantly providing updates to us on board. They are quickly getting a new plane for the passengers destined for Orlando. So that's good. Definitely a scary situation. Deandra says, how does this even happen? The Federal Communications Commission has banned artificial intelligence-generated voices in robocalls. This as concern grows ahead of the November elections that they may be used to deceive voters. We've already seen the evolving technology used that way in New Hampshire, where calls that sounded just like President Biden were sent out encouraging people not to vote in the primary election. This user says now the toughest part, catching the culprits, putting a stop to it, and consistently prosecuting them with a lot of teeth in the sentencing. The FBI and other federal and state partners will have a lot of work to do. Here's one more. It'll be neat and cool if they declared scam robocalls illegal in general. Ahead of the big game, a new study is looking at our fascination with celebrities and sports figures. The study found people can get a hit of dopamine, aka the feel-good hormone, to the brain when watching stories on TV about celebrities. Doctors say it can be a way for people to escape their daily stressors, but they caution there is a difference between being fascinated with a celebrity and having an unhealthy obsession with them. We can get very involved in their lives, can't we? This person says, I probably have that celebrity obsession, mental illness, but I think that's okay. Justin says, release yourself from the obsession with celebrities and fandom. It is rotting your brain. Governor Wes Moore lists off his plans in the next 3 years. Coming up this morning, his 10 priorities and the concerns about the price tag. An airline is going to extreme measures to cut down on weight, what passengers will need to do before boarding. It's 11:14. You're watching Fox 45 News, Midday. Governor Wes Moore unveiling his state plan, saying it complements his budget and legislative agenda. The plan focuses on 10 priorities, including ending child poverty, setting up students for success, and making communities safer, as well as creating more affordable housing and making Maryland a leader in clean energy.
This cannot just be about funding numbers. That's not the only number that's going to matter. We need accountability. We need transparency. We need to see that things are working. Because the things that are working and the things that we are measuring, we then know how are we then gauging our efficacy.
Many critics have been wary of the governor's spending as the state faces a $1.8 billion budget deficit by the end of the decade. Delegate Nino Mangione is working to make sure the cost isn't passed on to Marylanders without legislative approval. The Republican from Baltimore County was in Annapolis Thursday introducing House Bill 484 titled the Taxpayer Disclosure and Protection Act. It's a bill that would require legislative approval for any state tax or fee increase.
Isn't some fantasy land type bill that says you can't raise taxes. That's not what this says. This bill allows for tax increases. It allows for fee increases. If you're going to increase those taxes or fees, you have to vote, and it cannot be done through basically bureaucracy.
The bill moves now to 2 more readings in the House of Delegates before moving to the Senate for consideration. A passing vote from both chambers must happen before the bill becomes law. The Maryland Public Defender's Office is requesting a gag order against Baltimore City State's Attorney Ivan Bates, seeking to prohibit him from talking about the Jason Billingsley case. Public defenders argue Bates has made remarks that could interfere with Billingsley's right to a fair trial on several crimes, including the murder of Baltimore Tech CEO Pavel Lapierre. Lapierre's death has inspired proposed legislation that would make it harder for people like Billingsley to earn good behavior credits for early release from prison. Bates discussing that bill in Annapolis earlier this week.
This bill sends a clear message that sentences for such heinous crimes will be fully enforced, and convicted individuals will face significant consequences for their actions.
Bates says every defendant has a right to a fair trial, but not necessarily a private one. You can find his full remarks on our website, foxbaltimore.com. 11:18, time now for today's talking point. Forget weighing your luggage before a flight. One airline is weighing passengers. European carrier Finnair is doing it as part of a trial test at its Helsinki airport hub. The volunteers weigh in at the departure gate, which allows the airline to refine its weight estimates for planes before takeoff. Finnair says the weigh-ins are anonymous and only the staff member at the gate can see the actual number. The trial started Monday and has already gotten 800 volunteers. Mark Clark with Bmore Lifestyle is here now. Mark, I was a little bit shocked when I first read this story. I'm glad it's anonymous, though. Would you volunteer for this?
Yeah, I mean, I think what they should have done is not announce it. I mean, I think you got the pad over there, everybody stands there. Because, again, it does make sense. You need to know, you know, for fuel reasons and for just reasons in general, how heavy is the plane, right?
Right.
And so, but I think, again, I just wouldn't have announced it because now everybody, oh, what you doing? Are you weighing me?
Exactly. Yeah, when the story first came out, it makes it seem like this thing that's a public. I wasn't sure if it was going to be something where you had to pay more for your seat or something along those lines. Doesn't seem to be the case at all.
You know what? Since they already have us putting our hands over our head and they can basically see us naked.
True.
Why don't they add a scale in that little joint?
That's
when you go
true.
There, they should have everything there. Since they got it all private, you know, exposed anyway, go ahead and put the weight. Put the weight on the side of the thing, too.
Right. What's a scale? What's one more thing?
Body fat percentage, weight, and also how many people you dated.
Right. Oh, my goodness. What's going to be next? We'll see. All right. Thanks, Mark. All right. Now let's get to meteorologist Justin Chambers with our wild and wonderful weather.
Well, it's a really pretty shot here early morning in New York City. Look at that. And they always say red skies in the morning. Sailor, take warning. That person right there taking a picture. And it looks very nice, of course. We're actually going to see temperatures that will be well above average as we head toward the afternoon. We started the morning here in Baltimore with a lot of cloud cover. But as we head later into the day, we expect those clouds to erode and actually getting some more sunshine and temps that'll slide into the upper 50s and lower 60s, about 15 degrees above average for this time of year. Topping out right about 61 for your high today. Sun will be up until 5:36, so those daylight hours continue to expand. We're just 3 weeks from meteorological spring, which is March 1st. So here's a look at your high temperatures. Eastern Shore a little cooler, mid to upper 50s, but notice those 60s along the 95 and 83 corridors from Cockeysville and Hunt Valley down to Baltimore City and Columbia, 63 in Laurel, 64 Frederick, 61 in Westminster, and numbers up and down the 95 further south down to Richmond and to the north, 50s and 60s. So overall looking pretty nice for your Friday. Now we keep those numbers climbing, even mid 60s with our temperatures for Saturday, but notice those temperatures come back down as we head toward the early part of next week, upper 40s by Tuesday. That next weather maker could bring some wintry precip for some. Our future scan, though, looking good for your Friday afternoon. Saturday morning starts with cloud cover and a few showers here and there through about 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, off and on showers to the afternoon. But that all is clearing out of here behind that cold front. Sunday will bring more cloud cover, possibly some rain, especially south of Baltimore, down through Anne Arundel County and out toward the eastern shore. But overall, we're dry out Sunday afternoon, and Monday looks dry initially, and then Monday night into Tuesday morning, that next weather maker bringing some rain. Could see some wraparound kind of wet snow around some of our northern counties by Tuesday morning. So we're keeping an eye on that thing. But as we get to Valentine's Day next week, temperatures will be back to the upper 40s and lower 50s as we dry out.
All right, Justin, thanks. Still wondering what to have for lunch? We have you covered coming up in our lunch break. Cursive is making a comeback. The reason teachers are adding it back into the curriculum. It's 11:22. You're watching Fox 45 News Midday. Don't miss this. We may be in the digital age where texting and typing reign supreme, but it's not stopping Cursive from making a comeback with the younger generations. A growing number of school districts across the country are stressing the importance of this old-fashioned skill. In fact, California recently became the latest state to require cursive handwriting lessons for elementary school students. Besides helping to improve fine motor skills, academic experts say teaching cursive to young kids can enhance their cognitive development.
You're using different neural networks when you're doing cursive rather than printing, and so it's creating those pathways in your brain. It also helps, I would say, with the retention of information, how letters are formed.
And because many historical documents have been written in cursive, supporters say being able to read them can also help students learn about the past so they can help create a better future. Ford is considering getting rid of a vehicle feature in a move that could save the company millions of dollars. Ford's COO said in a conference call that very few drivers use the automated parallel parking feature, adding the company can remove the feature, which would save $60 per vehicle and $10 million annually. Now to your lunch break. Treat yourself to an extra slice of one of America's favorite foods. Today is National Pizza Day, which is observed every year on February 9th. It's a chance to appreciate the history of that cheesy, melty dish so many of us love. I think I'm gonna go get some right now, actually. That's all the time we have for Fox 45 News Midday. Bmore Lifestyle is up next, and Mark Clark is back with a preview.
Pizza sounds good. Get paid to have more kids, but only in a certain country. Just ahead of Bmore Lifestyle. How much money parents can make every month for the first year of the child's life? Okay, good idea. Okay, stick around. Bmore Lifestyle is coming up next.
You're watching Fox 45 in Baltimore. Now live from TV Hill, this is Bmore Lifestyle.
Baltimore, I'm Mark Clark, and this is Bmore Lifestyle live from Studio A at Fox Baltimore. Lady T is here, along with Ezra Allen from Kane Collective.
What's going on?
Good morning, everyone. Let me tell you right
Happy
now.
Friday!
After leading the Ravens to the #1 seed in the AFC in first-round bye, Lamar Jackson has been named the NFL MVP for the second time in his career.
I want to thank my organization, Baltimore Ravens, for, finally getting this deal done. Shout out to Eric, shout out to Steve, Coach Harbaugh, the whole unit. My offense, man, my offensive line, man, I can't thank them enough for what they've done. I'm not out there blocking, catching the ball, doing everything. It's my team. It's a team thing, for these awards. And, I want to thank my family at home.
Right, Lamar did it. The Ravens did it, and we look forward to another exciting year, and look forward to him. Now we've got that piece, that second MVP. Now let's go get that championship, right?
Absolutely. I'm excited. It's Lamar that's darling.
How do you feel about? Did Lamar switch up his fashion a little bit? Has his glasses on?
First of all, come through turtleneck. I love the turtleneck.
Yeah,
it was giving. I don't really see him like that too often in a turtleneck and in like a suit, but he looked good.
Kind of giving a little money bag.
I like it.
Yeah, Lamar's looking suave. Just one more championship. He's in a rarefied air with John Yu, another a Baltimore legend, and we just didn't get that championship, right?
Okay, money pulling out Johnny Yu. Okay.
Valentine's Day. But no, congrats to him. That's major news for Baltimore.
And he's got the bag, lady.
He's got the bag.
And he's single, by the way.
Call me.
Okay, Valentine's Day is next week, but if you got an ex, you're still. What's it? What is
if
it?
you're still mad at them.
Oh.
Then one animal shelter.
Please read for me.
One animal shelter is offering to help for a $50 donation.
Yes.
New Jersey shelter will let you name a feral cat after your ex, and then they will neuter it as they should.
That just sounds too much. That's a lot.
For $50, is it $50 per name? Because I have a list.
Ezra, it seems kind of cruel, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that's a little.
Made you a little nervous?
Yeah, it's a little nervous, a little nerve-wracking. But did they give you a picture of the neutered cat?
You want to see the proof?
No, I don't want to see. I don't want to see that.
Cats running around.
I'm okay on that.
Ezra, apparently.
Lady T, do you have those kind of bad experiences that you would want to do that?
I don't want to waste the $50 on it. I'd rather waste it on a steak. I don't really want to. I wouldn't pay for it.
Yes.
And then it's a cat. I
feel like karmically it bounced back on you, but
I feel like you can get some really bad karma.
Do you remember? We want you to tell it. Do you have any exes you're still mad at? Vote on our website, foxbaltimore.com/vote. When you get to the website, make sure you click on the lifestyle tab. You can also vote on our Fox 45 News app. At the end of the show, we'll see what everybody thinks. Now, South Korea is out with a new plan to boost its population. Amid a dip in new births, Seoul is offering parents $750 a month for the first year of their kid's life. The new birth encouragement program helps offset the cost of parenting. $750. You guys are still young. $750 a month. Let's go, Ezra.
He said, "Let's go." Yeah, I was gonna
Kids
say,
are expensive. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
$750 a month, though. That kind of.
After school, before school care, child care, and the rest, kids are expensive. I understand the incentive.
Business owner just broke down the.
Yeah, he was like,
actually, Mark, it's gonna be more. Lady T, $750 a month now.
I was gonna say the same thing because them kids cost at least, I want to say, 4 times that amount per week. I want to say.
Now it's Seoul, Korea now.
Oh, okay. Well, but no, I'm not doing it. I don't want anything walking out of me at this point. I'm in the height of I'm in the prime of my life in these streets. I'm in the prime of my career in these streets, and I would like to not do this.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm not, no hands raised over here, boo.
Nobody raised hands over here.
Nobody
$750.
$750.
Now, did you remember when there's certain countries that restricted?
I was gonna say.
One kid. Now all of a sudden, okay, you can have kids.
Yes.
It's very interesting. I mean,
now all of a sudden it's like a switch up, but I don't know, population, issues, I guess,
Well, $750.
Don't look at me, Ezra. I'm not doing it. It's not happening, Ezra.
Don't let his eyes, Ezra's eyes.
No, it's not happening.
Your uterus, your choice.
Yeah, thank you. You know what? That's the realest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Oh, that's nice. Well, look,
it's beautiful.
We'll see you guys later in the show.
Yes.
Hopefully you have some delicious cool libations for us. Okay?
Yeah, I could go for something that's, strong.
The big game is still this weekend. Coming up, we'll look at the impact the game could have on the U.S. economy. But first, a new way to track your health. Coming up, the new 9-in-1 scale that helps you reach your fitness goals. Ooh. Stick around. Great show on the way.
You're watching Bmore Lifestyle.
It's easier to stick to a wellness plan when you can track your progress. Stacey Bell's here to demonstrate a smart scale that measures weight, body mass, and much more. Here she is with America's Steals and Deals and today's money-saving deal.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
If you're like me and everybody in your house is on a health journey, this Counto digital scale is really going to help you maintain a healthy lifestyle. I did a lot of research and I'm so excited about this. I'm going to show you what you get when you bring it home. But it is a digital scale and it gives you 12 different body measurements, not just your weight, because our weight really fluctuates. So this is going to give you more information, like you'll get your BMI, your bone index, and your basal metabolic rate. And if you're a new mom, it's really cool because there's a baby growth setting and you can put it in baby mode. And if you're an athlete, like I have a lot of muscle men in my house, you can also measure your muscle mass. I don't like getting on a scale. I do not, but knowledge is power, and this gives me so much information. It's really been a game changer with my health along that journey. This pairs with any smartphone, so you can take all of that data on this scale, and it's gonna be on your app. Now, let me tell you how this works. The science is a little bit much. The scale can measure all these things. All you got to do, you step on it. It uses bioelectrical impedance, which measures how easily an electrical signal can move throughout your body. I know it's a lot, but that signal is going to move faster through muscle, so it can help you track what's muscle and what's fat. This is such a great deal and a cool product. Right now, we're offering 38% off the Counto scale. Head over to asadeals.com for this exclusive offer.
This Bmore Lifestyle segment is sponsored by UKG.
Whether you're in it for the love of the game, the parties and the commercials, or potential T-Swift sighting, millions may be planning to call out sick with the big game flu on Monday, February 12th. Chris Todd, CEO of UKG, joins us now to share what their report revealed about big game work habits and how many workers plan to skip work the next day. Chris, how's it going, buddy?
It's going well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. So the results are in. Tell us, how many Americans plan to miss work because of the big game?
Over 16 million Americans are planning to skip work the day after the big game. And out of that 16 million, 6 million of them are either going to fake being sick or ghost their employer.
The big question, should the Monday after the big game be a national holiday?
I don't think so, but 37% of Americans do. That's a question we include in the survey every year, and so almost 2/5 of the country thinks it should be a full-on holiday.
So how should employers and managers manage this phenomenon, Chris?
Right. I think great companies are going to keep this simple, right? Whether it's a holiday or not, the day after the big game happens every year. And so great companies, managers should start talking about it a couple weeks ahead of time, or should have open, honest, transparent conversations with their employees so that people know who's going to come to work and who's not going to come to work on Monday.
And how can we use this moment to create a better workplace environment?
Yeah, this is a great opportunity to improve the culture of a company. And so at UKG, for instance, we leaned into it. So we put together a fun video, told people that the big game was coming, and we're having a no Monday morning meetings day. So until noon that day, no meetings, right? And it's a great way to acknowledge it, build the culture, have some fun, but also get a sense of who's going to come to work or not. And regardless whether companies do it like we did it or find their own vehicle to have these conversations with their employees, it's a great way to acknowledge that we all have lives outside of work, start that communication, use that to build the culture, and then from there, build a better business.
I love that, man. It just seems so natural, just to have the conversation, because you're right. A lot of times you don't even have the conversations, right? So where can people go for more information, Chris?
People can go to ukg.com, check the newsroom area. We have information on specifically how to avoid the big game flu at your company. But beyond that, lots of great information on how to build a culture and how to use a culture to build a great business.
Hey, thanks for joining us. The big game flu. That's hilarious. Take care, Chris.
Thank you.
Still ahead from the classics to classic rock, we'll take an inside look at Baltimore's rock opera society. But first, what better way to impress your Valentine than with a fun drink? Coming up, we'll take you inside the kitchen and show you some fun new recipes. Delish. Stick around.
This is Bmore Lifestyle.
Hey, you guys. All right, so if you have Valentine's Day plans, then check this out. Whether you're hosting a Valentine's event or planning dinner for that special someone, you need the perfect drink to wow them. All right, so Ezra Allen from Kane Collective is here to show us how. I'm so excited. I love seeing my favorite bartenders here. Okay. So dry January. Over. We kicked it to the curb, right? So now we're back on deck trying to get these drinks together. What can we do to like wow our guests and wow that special someone to make them think that we know how to make drinks really well?
Well, February is an exciting month. We've got a lot of things going on.
Okay.
It's leading to carnival season right before Lent. So
Carnival.
I guess we
All my West Indians know about that.
So we have 3 options for you today. We're going to do a pomegranate. We're going to do a pomegranate pear one with some black leaf vodka. We're going to do a blood orange Paloma with friends from Los Hermanos. And then we're going to have an NA option with a little bit of a hibiscus crew. Shout out to that Mardi Gras.
Hibiscus now.
Sorrel is you gave it to the world.
Yes.
So it's not just.
Okay. Oh, it's made with sorrel?
It is.
Oh, because Caribbean people, we always
so
sorrel on
let's start with the first one. We'll do pomegranate. So we're going to make it really easy.
I'm going to try my hand at this. Okay,
I think
lifestylers, be easy
You
on
got
me.
it. I'm going to do 2 ounces.
Okay, 2 ounces. This cup, right?
All the way to the top.
All the way to the top.
Yep.
That's how I like it.
There you
All
go.
the way to the top, baby. Okay, wait. Okay, this one?
Right here.
Oh.
Yep. And then you're going to shake something too. And then we're going to do 1 ounce of vodka.
Oh.
There we go.
Anything clear, and
go.
then I can't remember anything the next day.
Okay.
But okay. That looks good. Okay, what's next?
We're going to put a top on that. We're going to put some ice in here.
Ooh.
All right.
And do I get to shake it?
You do.
My favorite part is the
I'm going to set you up right now.
I love to shake it.
All right.
All right, you ready? Okay,
Yep,
how
hold
do you
the top.
shake professionally like this?
You got it.
Ooh!
There you go.
Hey, you move a little with it?
I think
Is
so.
that too much? Okay.
I think it's just right.
Sorry. Okay, good.
All right, you're going to pull the top off.
All right,
You're going to pour right on top.
Okay, now this is always the toughest part for me, I feel like.
I think you got it.
Oh.
Looks good, right?
It does look good. I
All
love
right.
like little pink drinks like this. And how do we,
Excellent.
wait, so we fill it up?
So fill it up to the top.
Okay.
We're going to garnish it with a little lime wheel.
Ooh, I love these. And they taste so good also.
One lime wheel. Use a darker one.
The darker one here?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm not good at this part. This is where you really have to teach me how to do it.
That's all right. You got it, though. Put it on top.
Put it just on top
Yeah,
here.
and we're going to do a little splash of a little yuzu lime soda from our friends at Fever Tree.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Pretty, right?
Oh, that looks good.
All right.
That looks good. Okay,
I'll
now
do
you
the
gotta
second
make
one.
The next
I'll
two.
make the next 2. All
We
right.
only got a couple seconds left. Which one do you want to make?
We got it. We're going to do the blood orange. So we're going to do 2 ounces.
Oh. See, look.
6, 7, 8.
We have to do all this to impress us. This is how you get a man? This is what we do now? I love it.
So 2 parts blood orange, 1 part tequila, and then we're going to shake that up.
Okay, and Ezra, you have some projects coming up. So while you're talking,
I do.
What do you have?
So you can find us at the farmers market
at
pretty much every Saturday in the Baltimore metropolitan area. We'll also be in Crofton this week, and you can.
You're being in Crofton this week?
We're going to be in Crofton this week.
Anne Arundel County. Okay.
Yeah, you can find us online at canecollective.com.
Let me decorate this one too. Ezra.
All right, put a straw in there.
Okay.
And maybe a little bit of mint sprig.
Ooh, I love mint.
Keep
you
it
grow
pretty.
This yourself?
I don't,
okay.
unfortunately.
You don't know how to. You know what?
I don't.
That's the one thing you're lacking is making mint.
I'm going to work on that. I'm going to work on that.
And this is a little bit darker. I like this. This gives like a Valentine's Day kind of look.
Absolutely. Got a little bit of razzle dazzle in there, some sparkles.
Excellent. Okay, Ezra, tell everybody where they can find you.
CaneCollective.com or Cane_Collective on Instagram.
Excellent. Thanks,
Cheers.
Ezra. We
Look forward to seeing you soon.
All right. Have a great Valentine's Day, y'all. Now on.
Kind of a cool picture here, a rare February thunderstorm. This is happening in Chicago. Look at that lightning strike right there. You can see 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit for those lightning strikes. So you obviously have to watch out for those. And we're getting closer to spring. We're going to start to have some of those springtime thunderstorms. But as for today, we're kind of feeling spring-ish with some warmer numbers for the afternoon, a mix of clouds and sun. And tracking some showers here as we get into your Saturday, especially Saturday morning and into the afternoon, spotty showers too. But staying mainly dry through most of your afternoon on Friday with temps climbing to the upper 50s and lower 60s. In fact, across central Maryland, eastern shore, across the Bay Bridge, up and down the Chesapeake, a lot of 50s and 60s for our highs when typically we're in the mid 40s. And we know we've been cold earlier this month, but overall for most of February, we have stayed above average. So checking those numbers up and down the region here in the DMV, 50s and 60s for Philly and Baltimore down through DC, even Western Maryland, 62 there in Cumberland and 63 in Richmond. Now we'll keep those 60s going for another day. Notice on Sunday we're back to the mid-50s, and we drop those temperatures as we get toward the early part of next week. That's going to be that colder air bringing us more February-like numbers, but not bitter cold, nothing we can't handle here. Here's a look at our future scan, taking you through Friday afternoon. Again, a mix of clouds and sun and staying dry. The rain starts on Saturday morning, a couple of sprinkles here and there. That'll move through off and on through the afternoon, so scattered showers is what we're talking about. Sunday looks a little bit cloudy. Some of the models want to bring the rain into Baltimore. Others keep it a little bit further to the south. Overall, at least kind of misty conditions through most of Sunday afternoon and evening. Monday starts dry, but it's Monday night into Tuesday morning. That's going to be our next weather maker, bringing some rain showers and even some wraparound potential wet snow along the Maryland and PA line as we get into Tuesday morning. Kind of a nuisance snow is what we're talking about. But then we're drier for Wednesday and Thursday as we get toward Valentine's Day and toward next weekend as well.
The Baltimore Rock Opera Society is a collective of crazy creatives who get together to produce shows, to have events, to have activities and parties, and just have a good time being together.
So it was really just like a group of underemployed 20-somethings who were looking for really exciting ways to interact with our community. We kind of wanted to do something that checked all of the boxes for us. Like, well, we like concerts, we like big shows, we like humor and comedy and ridiculousness.
It's this huge, passionate group of people celebrating together and giving each other opportunities to do stuff we couldn't do on our own.
We just immediately started asking people to get involved, and that's never stopped.
You can be the star of a show, you can be a musician, you can be a costume designer, you can be a puppeteer, a puppet creator, a builder. You can make these spectacular things when we do it together.
Find a spot for yourself, find something really meaningful that you can do, and we'll put it on stage and sell a bunch of tickets and have a great time.
We've cracked 10 years now, and it's taken us everywhere from playing air guitar on top of a truck at Artscape to these 100, 200 person productions that go on every year. One of our largest productions was called Murder Castle. It was the story of America's first serial killer.
Space Kumite, sort of like a futuristic wrestling performance with live music, but the audience chooses the outcome of the show.
Terrible Secret of Lunastis, which is a space opera, Brides of Tortuga.
Very early in the pandemic, we were one of the first companies to come back and do live theater with an outdoor show called the Shadow Showdown.
We did a show called Funktopia. It was something a little different for bros.
It was all about like liberation and freedom, set to the back catalog of amazing hip-hop songs by Kendrick Lamar and Outkast and soul and disco music.
We're in the middle of a live karaoke series that's really bringing people out to create their own starring roles for themselves.
As a nonprofit, we are constantly sort of educating ourselves and our community, so we're always doing workshops and ways that we can kind of advance the level of the community here. The people who are working on the shows try to educate each other, and it's all a big learning environment.
We're volunteers for the most part. We do this because we love it, and we do it because we all share in the vision. It can't just be one person's dream. It has to be all of our dream to some extent, right?
We have an annual activity called the Pitch Party, where anyone in the community is invited to pitch an idea for a show.
Anybody who's part of the Bros community or who's there at the pitch party can come vote.
And if their idea is selected, pros will get the manpower behind whatever is required to bring that show to the stage.
Why don't you tell them how to get involved?
All right. So what you gotta do is you gotta go to BaltimoreRockOpera.org. Check out the volunteer opportunities. Sign up for the newsletter, No Floaters, and come out to see a show.
Are you still talking with your exes? Our You Tell It results are next. Valentine's Day is next week, but if you've got an ex you're still mad at, one animal shelter is offering to help for a $50 donation. The New Jersey shelter will let you name a feral cat after your ex, and then they will neuter it. Wow. We wanted you to tell it, do you have any exes you're still mad at? The majority say, no way. Okay, that's good to know. Our listeners are well balanced. Okay, got a great show lined up for Monday. It's not too late to make a resolution to get healthier. If you're concerned about your weight, there may be an easy solution. Coming up on Monday's show, we speak with an obesity medicine expert and a clinical psychologist to find out about how you can stay healthy while losing weight.
Find out how to have your business featured on Bmore Lifestyle. Email us at bmorelifestyletv@foxbaltimore.com.
So we are all so excited about seeing you at the Be More Healthy Expo tomorrow. We're going to have a great time. I'll be there. Lady T's going to be there. We're going to be signing autographs and doing our thing. And again, we want to invite everybody out. But also, and thank you for following us on, all our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all those. But again, tomorrow we'll see you there, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I'll be bushy-tailed. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.